Hello everyone, this is SEMN and SEMM1013 Programming for Engineers, Lecture 3. Let me share the slide. Okay, so for Lecture 3, basically we are looking at arithmetic operators. There are basically 5 arithmetic operators that you need to know in C, which are the plus addition, you have subtraction, you have multiplication, division, and this is remainder after integer division. All right, baki. Okay. So first we will be looking at addition. Suppose example 3.1. Suppose that integer variables a equal to 10 and b equal to 3, while the floating point variables v1 equal to 12.5 and then v2 equal to 2.0. All right, and let's evaluate this expression. A plus b, so a is 10, b is 3, so we will have the final value of 13. A divided by b will have 3. All right, of course, you know 10 divided by 3, you will have some remainder, but for this particular operation, arithmetic operation, they will just take the first true value of the operation. All right, the remainder is not picked up by this operation. And a, the percentage sign. With b, you will have integer division. A is equal to 10, b is equal to 3. A divided by b, you will have remainder 1. You have 3 and remainder 1, so 1 will be taken into account, will be kept in the memory for this equation. So v1 minus v2, v1 is 12.5, v2 is 2.0, you will have 10.5, and v1 divided by v2, for this particular case, you will have the answer in terms of floating point. Okay, because the floating point can basically take the thing. All right. For example, here in this a divided by b, this is integer division. You will have only the first value of the integer. There is no floating point given. Okay. Yeah, you can read through all of these things. But the third point, the operators, multiplication, division, and integer division remainder, they have higher precedence than operators and operators of plus and minus. So if you see in one equation with all of these things, you should prioritize the arithmetic operation that involve multiplication, division, and remainder. Okay, you can read through this thing. For example, here, okay, arithmetic precedence. Suppose that integer variable I equal to 7 and floating point variable f is equal to 5.5. You have I is integer data type, f is floating point data type. All right, in this case, if you make this operation, expression I plus f, you will surely have 7 plus 5.5. You will get basically 12.5. The result here is in the form of floating point. All right, in this case, I plus f, then remainder by 5, you will have invalid because the usage of this one basically this I would say expression must be all integer. In this case, you have I integer, okay, but f is basically floating point, so this statement will be written invalid because you have floating point on this term. All right. It is because for this particular operation, using this remainder sign, all of the items in this side must be integer. All right, if you look at the next example, the same I plus f, you have this sign with 5. This thing will work because you can convert I plus f Okay, integer plus floating point, you can convert this value into integer by using this expression in the bracket. All right, and then the whole thing will be converted into integer, and then the integer will be used for this operation, and it's now become valid. All right, in this case you can convert, now is f is a floating point. Basically you can convert f to integer by using this. This is how to convert floating point to integer. F is taking 5.5, so 5 divided by 2, you get basically 1 as integer, and so on. Okay, this is introduction to unary operators. Unary operators is basically you act on single operand to produce a new value. This is basically how it goes. You can put this kind of expression plus I, which very much equivalent to I equal to I plus 1. Okay, and so it works with minus I, which is equivalent to I equal to I minus 1. All right. Of course, this is very much the actual or original statement that you have to write in your programming, but you can use some kind of shortcut, okay, by typing just 3 character plus I. Basically, this kind of statement will be working the same as the statement on the other side. All right, the next is on the relational and logical operators. Relational operators are this perbandingan, which is smaller than or equal to. You have bigger or bigger or equal to. All right, this is the relational. This is equality. This is equal. Okay, and this is not equal. Okay, if you want to check whether the guy on this side is equal, is it equal on the guy to the other side, you can use this one. You can check equality, you can check inequality. All right, this is logical operator, this is and, this is or, and this is unary operator. Of course, we will go through on this relational and logical operators in the exercises. You can read through all of this thing. Also, same here. This is example 3.16. Suppose that an integer variable I equal to 7 and a floating point variable of f equal to 5.5. All right, for the logical and relational operators, you have output of the operation to be taken in the form of logic well 0 or 1. All right, for example, f is bigger than 5. F is bigger than 5, so this expression is true, so the program will return value 1. And next we check I plus f is less than or equal to 10. I is 7 plus f 5.5. We have 12.5 is less than 10. No, this is not true, so you will have false interpretation, and of course the program will return 0, and so on. You can basically check yourself whether this thing works logically, or if this statement or expression is true, you will have value true, and value 1 will be written. If any of the statement is basically false, you will have interpretation of false, and the value 0 will be written to your program. All right, of course, you'll see more of this thing in action when we write the real program. This is assignment operators. The most commonly used assignment operators is, of course, tanda sama dengan ni lah. All right. So assignment of assignment operator, you have plus, equal, minus, equal, multiply, equal. Is the same as the unary operation. We have example here. All right. Suppose that integer variable I equal to 5 and j equal to 7, while the floating point variable of f is 5.5 and g we have negative 3.25. All right. I equal to 5, you have the value I equal to 5. Okay. J equal to g. J will take the value of negative 3. G is negative 3.25. All right. F and G is floating point, are floating point. I and J are integer. So in this is J, we are giving floating point value to J integer. So J can only take the integer and not floating point. In this case, G minus 3 is some kind of integer, 0.25 is floating point, and in this case, because J is integer, J can only take minus 3, so that's why you are saying J is equal to minus 3 on this side. Now this is operators, I plus equal to 5. So I is equal to 5. If you work on this one, so this thing will basically go I equal to I plus 5. So I will be 5 and plus 5 will be, and finally I will take the value of 10 is 5 plus 5. Okay, because I is 5, then you plus with another 5. All right, so same goes here. F is equal to 5.5. G is 3.25. So F is equal to F minus G. So F, this statement, this expression will be equal to F minus G. So F minus G, F is 5.5 minus 3.25. Then you have F is 5.5 minus 3.25. You will have positive number of 8.75. All right. So I equal to J equal to 3. So 3 will be taken to J. J will be equal to 3. And this J value will be taken into I. So you will have I equal to 3. All right. This is how this thing works. Next, basically, we have conditional operator. Conditional is syarat. Okay, so expression 1, 2, and 3, you can put basically these things together to see what kind of condition yang you all nak cuba dapatkan. For example, here we have, suppose that example, integer variable I equal to -5 and while the floating point variable f 5.5 and g negative 3.25. We are looking for the flag of whether I is smaller than 0 ataupun -1 for -1 to 100. Okay, so which one is basically less than 0 for this statement? So you have -1. For example, which one is bigger than 0? Of course, they will take 100, and of course, min equal to f less than g. All right. For f and g. Okay, for this particular case, your comparison value or your value is in the form of straight integer, but for this particular case, you are putting the variable to represent your numbers here. So between f and g, f is smaller than g, f is 5, g is 1. So this is not true, so they will basically take the g. All right. This is some kind of library function which you can use a special function, special characters which you can reach in your programming. Also specially assigned to specific function where you cannot use this function in as your variable declaration and all. All right, so basically these are the functions that you can call. We will be looking into functions in the next coming lectures. All right, these functions are basically embedded into the programming C programming library. To be able to reach this function, you have to include the specific file name that contain this function. All right, for example, here we have this is the preprocessor. Yeah, the preprocessor is may include integer versus getchar is kind of special function. To upper and tookchar is some kind of special function which you can call through the library through the C type and stdio.h file. So if you don't include these two preprocessor file, you will never be able to use these two things. All right, I think that's all for the basic of operators. All right, I'll see you again in the next coming lectures. Goodbye.